The boy with the dandelion hand. William. You know what today is, correct? A child sat at a kitchen table with his legs dangling a good distance above the ground upon the chair he sat. A plate of toast with thin cuts of cheese melted on top was in front of him with one piece in hand on its way to his mouth. He took a bite and then shook his head no. The woman by the kitchen sink behind the child's seat smiled, put a plate in a cupboard and walked to the table. It is the day your father comes back from his trip. Now I have a lot of important things to do to get ready before he gets here. So I have an important job for you to do. The smile of the child changed to as earnest and diligent expression as could be had by a child of his age. You will need to stay out of my hair until he comes home. I guess that means you will have to go outside and play. I've made a picnic for you for lunch. The woman broke her strained look and finally smiled. Then William smiled too. He did not get to go out and play by himself a lot, and certainly not for a whole day. That means you cannot go past the stone wall that marks our property. Your father will be back when the sun starts to set over the house's roof, so try to be back by then. It's been 3 months. Do you think you can remember him? And William nodded and she laughed. Now then, finish your breakfast and go and play, my little prince. As only children can do, the remaining toast was inhaled within 2 bites, and he was off into the yard. The small stone fence to the south bordered a road that went into the town. There was a tree there that William had adopted as a makeshift castle keep, cave for dwarves, home for fairies, or whatever was needed. It is here that he went. It just so happened that there were some dandelions around the tree, and he picked one out of the ground when he heard a voice. William. It came from the road, and he ran to see who it was. Hello, William. It was his kindergarten teacher. Why, what has happened to your hand? And she laughed. William looked down to where she was looking and saw his long-sleeve shirt had covered his hand, and only the dandelion that he had plucked was visible, and he laughed too. I just wanted to say hi and say how well you have done when your dad was on his trip and now he is coming home today. Are you doing anything special for him when you see him? He had never thought about it. He shook his head no and looked at the ground. Well, maybe you could show him your dandelion hand? I'm sure he would like that. William smiled. I'll see you in class on Monday. Have a good weekend and say hi to your dad for me. William waved goodbye. William went back by his tree, played for a while when a man called out. Hello, William. William walked over to see who it was, and it was Mr. Jenks from the bank. Would you like to see something? William said, glowing. Why, you know me, of course I would. William held up his hand, but in its place just as before was a dandelion. Mr. Jenks inspected it for a second and said, why, what has happened to your hand? Has it changed into a dandelion? William pulled his sleeve down and revealed his hand was in fact under the sleeve, holding the dandelion the whole time. Why, you really had me there. I think your dad would really like that. That reminds me, he's getting back today, isn't he? William nodded. Tell him hello for me and let him know he should stop by and catch up some time before he goes again. William went back playing, and with every passerby he played his trick on them and everyone laughed. Then as things were getting late he heard a car noise and looked and saw the sun was going behind the roof of the house. Dad's home. William sprinted for the front door of his house. When he made it there, his dad was getting out of his car. William ran to him and held up his hand. William held up his hand, and out of the corner of his eye did not see the dandelion. He looked down and the dandelion was not there. Some water, yes, it must have been water, started to come down his face. His dad put down his briefcase and knelt down on one knee and put his arms around his son. The son threw his arms around his dad, put his head on his father's shoulder and tried to talk, but only dandelion, lost, hand, special, came out in broken parts. The father's hand fell to the ground. After some time, to the boy forever, the father propped up the boy's head and said, My son. What on earth has happened to your hand? William looked down and there was his dandelion hand back in its place.